Okay, on these problems, I want to work them so that if you're doing your homework, you can double check and make sure you're doing them correctly since we're just getting started doing this stuff. So for number 1, I would write A is equal to 2, B is 9, C is negative 18. And I'm going to work these fairly quickly so you can kind of see how it should look as you get better at it. If you need to pause the video, then please do that. Okay, so your formula, and you should have it written somewhere in your notes, but it's negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So you should have that written down somewhere where you can refer to that on every problem all the time. Unless you have it memorized from me singing it. You might have the words in your head. Okay, so it starts out with the negative of b, so the opposite of b, plus or minus radical b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Then you take your calculator and you do 81 minus 4 times 2 times negative 18, and you get the square root of 225. And so that means this is negative 9 plus or minus 15. Because on your calculator you do the square root of 225, and so that's 4. Negative 9 plus 15 is 6, divided by 4 reduces to 3/2. Negative 9 minus 15 is negative 16, divided by 4 is negative 4. Okay, so that's what you should have for number 1. Then in Schoology, make sure you put the answer as 3/2. It will count it wrong if you put in 1.5, or if you put 6 over 4, or if you put 1.5. So make sure you put in 3/2. Okay, so in this one, a is equal to 1, because you have a 1 on the a squared, or there's no number there, so it's assumed to be 1. B is negative 8, and C is negative 65. So if my B is negative 8, B squared is negative 8 times negative 8, which is positive 64. So it's a good idea to put down B squared right there. So you have that, okay? So the opposite of B is going to be 8, because it's negative B, and B is already a negative 8, so a negative times B is a positive 8. So this number that starts with the formula is always the opposite of whatever sign B is. Plus or minus radical B squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So you take your calculator, 64 minus 4 times negative 65 is the square root of 324. So the square root of 324 is, hold on, 18. So 8 plus and minus 18 all over 2, because 2 times 1 is 2. Then you make 2 answers. 8 plus 18 is 26, divided by 2 is 13. 8 minus 18 is negative 10, divided by 2 is negative 5. Okay? Number 3, A is 4, B is negative 7, C is negative 65. So that means B squared is going to be 49. So negative B plus or minus radical B squared minus 4AC all over 2A. Notice again, B was negative 7, so negative B is positive 7. Then we need to find the square root of that. So take 49. And I do plus. I might have said that on the last one. If I have minus a negative, I do plus. So I would do 49 plus 16 times 65. Because I'd multiply 2 of the numbers in my head, but you don't need to do that. You can do 49 minus 4 times negative 65. You should get 1,089. And the square root of that is 33, I believe. Yeah. So 33 over 8. So then 7 plus 33 would be 40, divided by 8 is equal to 5. And 7 minus 33 is negative 26 over 8, which needs to reduce. So it's negative 13 over 4. You can do 26 divided by 8 on your calculator and then change it to a fraction if you need to do that. I just divide both of them by 2 because they're both even, and I keep doing that until I can't reduce it anymore. Okay, this one's going to be negative 12 plus or minus radical 144, because 12 squared is 144, minus 4 times a times c all over 2a. So a is 10, b is 12, c is 9. 144 minus 4 times 10 times 9 is negative 216. So if you have a negative on the number inside your radical, your answer is no solution. And on Schoology, for it to count it correct, you need to write the word out like that. Okay, number 5. This one's a little bit different because we have it equal to negative 9, and the formula only works when it's set equal to 0. So we have to add 9 to both sides. So that'll be 0. So I have 2n squared minus 10n, and then negative 81 plus 9 would be a negative 72. So that means a is equal to 2, b is equal to negative 10, and c is negative 72. So negative b, and I would even write here, especially because b is negative, b squared then would be positive 100, because negative 10 times negative 10 is positive 100. Make sure you remember that first number inside the radical, that b squared, is always a positive number. Okay, so we have a positive 10 plus or minus radical b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So 100, and I would do plus 8 times 72, and you get radical 676. However you type that in your calculator. Some of you do the 4 times 2 times 72 and write that number down, and then 100 plus that number. However you do it is fine, but you make sure that you can get 676. And then the square root of 676 is 26. So this becomes 10 plus and minus 26 all over 4. 10 plus 26 is 36. Over 4 gives me a 9. And 10 minus 26 is negative 16 divided by 4, which is negative 4. Okay, last one on this video, and then I'll stop it and do the next 6 on a different video. So again, we have it equal to a number, so we need to subtract 11 from both sides so that we have equals 0. Negative 29 and negative 11 is a negative 40. So I have 3n squared minus 2n minus 40. So a is 3, b is negative 2, c is negative 40. So that means b squared is equal to positive 4. So then negative b is a positive 2, plus and minus radical 4 minus 4ac all over 2a. So inside the radical, go ahead and pause the video if you want to on these, or hopefully you've done some of them, but pause the video and see if you can get the answer on your own. Then I would do 4 plus 12 times 40, and you get radical 484. If you don't see what I mean by that, just do 4 minus 4 times 3 times negative 40, and you'll get that. And then the square root of 484 is 22, so we have 2 plus and minus 22 all over 6. So we have 2 plus 22 is 24 divided by 6, which is 4. 2 minus 22 is negative 20 over 6, which is negative 10 over 3. So negative 10 thirds and positive 4. Okay, I'll pause the video and start another one for the next 6.